virtual friends. It's so lovely to have you back. I'm Katrina from Katrina's Tidy Talks. I'm thinking of changing my channel name, to be fair, because I do want to expand the channel, and I think I've said that before. But things have just been really hectic, and I haven't really been able to have a minute to bless myself. Like, and I'm not even joking. Things have been hectic. I just had one of the most traumatic Fridays ever. Well, it wasn't really that bad, but to be honest, it was for me because I'm driving down the road and I realized that something was happening with Shane's car, and I just could feel this like tug, 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 and it was the exhaust hanging off the car. And I thought, oh, God, I wonder how that happened. So I go and buy a welding machine thing. Don't really know the name of it, but anyway, look, it's in Lidl on offer for 40 quid. Thought, I mean, all I have to do is obviously weld it back on. And my partner then, jacks the car up, and I'm like directing him, like, do you think you know what we're doing? Like, both of us like together. Oh, yeah, I think so. And he's very good with cars, but obviously not this part. And I'm normally good with, telling him what to do, even though I don't really know what I'm doing myself. So I'm just like, how hard can it be? It's obviously like hot glue, like a hot glue gun when you're sticking a wee stick onto another wee stick, and then you make a lovely project for your kids for school and pretend it was them that made it. So he goes, follows my instructions, and he puts all these blobs all underneath, obviously, the bottom of the car, where like the exhaust thing needed welded back on to some other little doof and danny. I don't really know what they're called, but anyway, it held, nicely when the car was parked. And then I drove it again, and obviously the noise happened again, and then it was just 2 times or probably 10 times worse than what it was. And then I had to bring it down to the mechanic with this embarrassing look at my face and explain that it was me. I did all the blobbing underneath. Can you please fix it? And he said, yeah, come back in 10 minutes. And I says, God, I have to go and get the kids from school. I have meetings. I need, online meetings. So went and got my laptop, got the kids from school, had my laptop with me, and obviously was, attending the meetings virtually with my camera off, because no one wants to see me sitting in a garage waiting to get my obviously car done. And it was a real dark and like dreary garage, and I thought, oh my God. So anyway, I sat there and they said, yeah, it will be another half an hour. So I went to the garage, and I detest going to garages to buy stuff. I hate it. I'd rather just go into Asda, go into Lidl, go into Morrison's, wherever else, and buy everything in bulk, because like you're paying like £100 for something that would cost a tenner in a supermarket. So I was like, okay, we'll get a wee party for ourselves. And Jude had his wee party, Georgia had hers, and I had mine, and we all sat there, and I'm logging on to the meeting, and the guy comes in and it's like, do you mind bringing this in tomorrow? And I said, sorry, what? Can you bring it in tomorrow? And I was like, no, I can't. I'm very busy. Please, 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 can you do it today, please? He's like, no, definitely not the day, love. I was like, but you told me to come back. No, definitely not the day. I was like, kids say please, and the two of them at the same time in harmony. Please. I'm sorry, kids, I can't do it today. And he was laughing. Look at me. I'm just laughing at myself. I obviously must have been thinking about this. I'm walking in ready for round two. You can tell right now I am really angry. That's what I felt like doing to your man down at the mechanics. So I went back anyway. To have a round two with him the next day, as he told me to, and then he finally fixed the car, and that was lovely. So Shane got his car back, and his car's from the road, and then I had my car, so that was great. So driving around in my car, like, oh, here we go, Jude, let's play some music. We're going around to get the girls from Granny's house. Me and Jude was at a wee football match, and we're just like driving down, like, singing our favorite song. And it's this song that he keeps singing. Like, I don't even know what it is, but I've learned it from him. And it's this one. She said she's from the island, and he keeps singing really badly. She said she's from the island. And I'm just like, right, okay, he is not the singer in the family. That would be me, Georgia, and Julia. Jude's not No, it's not the singer. Look at me just throwing everything out of George's room. I've just had enough. Like, this is me. I've had enough. I've had enough of these mechanics telling me to wait around. I've had enough of Jude's singing voice. And I have had enough when I'm driving down the road and bang, 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 bang. And I thought, wow, the songs really got some questionable beats. Like, what is this? And Jude's like, Mum, this, like, sound is coming from the car. And I'm thinking, what? No, it's not. He's like, the sound is coming from the car. And I'm like, no, no, it's coming from the track that you just played. Because we're obviously playing it on, like, the YouTube's connected to the car and whatever. And he's like, no, 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 it's coming from the car. Mummy, stop the car. Something's happening with the car. And I'm thinking, as if you're just a little 7-year-old boy that drives go-karts. You don't know nothing about my beautiful cash guy. And he was right. He was right. We get out of the car, he told me to pull over, and we get out, and I seen the most devastating thing I've ever seen in my car. And I look after my wee car really well, and I clean it really, really well. And look, I'm just going to pop it on the screen. So, apparently, cash guys and a lot of new cars don't do spare wheels. They give you this little repair kit that, like, literally a bit of hubble bubble chewing gum would be what it looked like to me, because it was the smallest wee bit of glue and a wee patch, and I thought, are you joking me? It rips to shreds. There's no hope for this tire. So I had to leave it parked at the side of the road and go to the nearest mechanic, which was so lucky because the nearest mechanic was right facing where I had stopped and pulled over. So I leave it there overnight because it was after when the mechanics closed. And I get down the next day, and my partner then jacks up the car. We take off the wheel. I'm like, is down on my hands and knees while cars are passing by, taking this car wheel off. People looking at me. They obviously didn't realise Shane was there at the other side, jacking it up at the other side and whatever. This is me now just moving on to actually cleaning a pram. The reason why I'm cleaning this pram is completely mouldy. It's been out in the shed, and I need it because I'm going to Florida with the kids. And I know Julia is not going to want to walk too much because kids are like that. I don't, does anybody else ever get that? So their child is the age for a pram where everyone looks like, oh, they're age for the pram right up until 2, but they actually don't want to get in the pram when they start walking. So you'll say from maybe 15 months, they do not want to get into the pram. They do not want to get in, they scream, they kick, they shout. And then they get to like 4 and 5 and they want into a pram. And you're like, oh, come on, mate, get out. And they want you to carry them. Like, sometimes I look at my Julie and think, you want me to carry you? Jesus, you could carry me. But anyway, I'm getting this all nice and clean. So when we go away, it's going to be spotless clean, and she will need it. I know she's going to need it. But anyway, I get to the mechanics and I, say to the guy, like, listen, I rolled the wheel to him, and my partner was going to do it, but he had a call. So I rolled the wheel up to him, and he's looking at me like, well, rip that up good. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, what star sign are you? And I'm like, Sagittarius, what are you? And he's like, I'm a Leo. And I was like, oh, he says, you didn't guess. I was like, well, I mean, you are quite confident. And I mean, this is how our conversation went. And me and him get on like a house of fire. And just like that, my car was fixed. So the tire was replaced. Car's back on the road. Shane's is back on the road. Everything's back to normal. And look at the pram. It looks amazing. Thanks again for joining, guys. Speak soon. Bye.